Bismillah. So just to continue from where we were last time, to summarize what I said, well, why science? Because the claim here is that this is not just for people interested in, from an intellectual perspective of wanting to know, which is something noble and leads to good things. But I'm claiming that whatever situation you're in, whether you're in a perspective that you don't care about what theory, you don't care about what system, you just need something which works. Because you're looking for meaning, you're looking to change your life, you need to change something. I'm claiming that whatever state someone is in, this is the beginning. Now, how you begin and how you do this, of course, that's going to be different on a case by case basis. But this, to know thyself, to learn the science of your soul, I claim this is the beginning. Why? Well, as I said, everything is this. Everything in this universe consists of two things, thinking and doing. Science ultimately is about organizing thoughts. Art is about doing, enacting these thoughts. And if you sit down and think, well, basically everything is this. It's the continuum of thought becoming action. Right? The idea of word become flesh. It's all you need to know. That's the entire cosmos before you. The spiritual, the mental, the physical. It's all this. The abstract becoming immanent. The mental becoming physical. Thoughts and ideas becoming actions and things. And I had a bit of etymology over here. I mean, we might equate the science with the theoretical. Well, the word theory in Greek literally means to see, to behold. Seeing is believing, as they say, and that's what theory is. Theory actually is changed now. We think a theory is like an unproven idea, or an idea which explains something, and it might be amenable to testing or whatever. But no, the original meaning of theory, and when the ancients speak of theories, they refer to visions. I see the world, behold it before me. The theory, the book, whatever it is, that's me describing, delineating this mystical vision. The beginning of everything is that. Everything begins in vision. And I don't merely speak of the eye of the flesh, but I speak of the eye of the heart. In the beginning you see something with your innermost heart of hearts. You behold, and therefore you believe. And belief is the beginning of all human activity. Because before you do anything, you must have faith. Faith is that trust. If you're going to follow someone, something, follow an idea, ultimately you follow something because you trust it. That's just the indubitable nature of the human condition. That's science, thinking, theory. Art, doing, is practical. And according to online etymological dictionaries, practice in its original Greek means, rather than original Indo-European root, means crossing over. It derives from this idea of crossing a boundary, which now makes exact sense because doing something is about an idea crossing the plane of being inside of you to being outside of you. And that's it. In just two words, we essentially summarized everything. I've added the Arabic analogues here for ilm and amal. I'll speak about those at a later date. The same thing. As I said, whatever tradition you're working in, you basically have this. You think and you do. Now, one of the biggest issues is that we've lost the worldview. All peoples used to have a theory, a way of looking at the world, which was remarkably similar. Remarkably similar. I mean, if you studied mythology, you know that obviously we people of Abrahamic descent have the idea of Noah's Ark in their minds, the idea of the story of the great deluge, of Noah who built the Ark, and all humanity being descended therefrom in the generations which followed. Now, there's basically the same story, which, as far as we know, independently, it comes up. In South American civilizations, they have an idea of this global flood. They have an idea of essentially the Noah figure who built an ark. There are universals in human history. There are universals in how we figured the universe to look like. And this is one universal. All the ancients saw the world as being nested as spheres within spheres. The Earth is at the center of the cosmos, and the cosmos is a series of circles outside and around the Earth. And the circle is the fundamental shape of reality. Like, what's it called? Ouroboros, I think. The snake which eats itself, the symbol of eternity. The symbol of oneness, the symbol of unity, the symbol of perpetuity. All these things the circle is. But now, I say this because, as I said, firstly, all things begin in theory. But this is the vision which comes in knowing reality, knowing yourself at the deepest level, that you're a circle. Everything is a circle. This is what they want us to know. Well, how does that help us? Well, you're a circle. If you have a circle, what do you have? Well, you have circles inside of circles, like basic mathematics. That's the idea of the radius, the idea of, all the circle theorems, whatever you learn. You have lines, you have circles inside of circles, you have shapes. That's you. You're a big circle. The mortal coil, as Shakespeare called it. Everything you have is bundled into this spherical totality of yourself. If you remember Leonardo da Vinci's, what's it called, Vitruvius Man, I think, the human being fits both inside of a square and a circle. You have this nature. Literally at a physical level is true, let alone these deeper levels. There's three spheres which fundamentally you are composed of. Yes, you can probably divide in different ways. Different systems will have slightly different modifications, maybe a bit more, maybe a tiny bit less. But let's go with this for now. There's three levels to yourself. Of course, the body, it's obvious. The mind, you think. You can't reduce the mind to the body. If you do, then that's why you're depressed. And even before the mind, the spirits. And that's a bit more tricky. We can understand, yes, mind and body, but what's spirit? What is soul? Well, if you know any meditation, the whole idea is you observe, or rather, let me say, look, the whole idea of mindfulness is that you observe your thoughts. Just as when you observe your body, you come to the conclusion that you're not essentially your body. Your body changes, it comes and goes. It experiences various states. But you are the thing beneath the body which is experiencing the body. That's the mind. Everyone knows this. You don't need any training to do it. We all have this innate idea that I am inside of the body. Now, mindfulness or any form of spiritual training, you do the same thing inside of your mind. Because if you study the mind, you see it is like an ocean. Just as thoughts and, or rather, let's say, sensations wash over the body, they come and go in waves. So thoughts come and go and ripple in the mind. You're not the body, you're what's beneath the body. Similarly, you're not the mind. Because you're not your thoughts. We know this, you aren't your thoughts. You don't have control of your thoughts, you don't really have control of your body. You're beneath that. You're the thing beneath your mind in the same way. You're the unity, the oneness of your being. That's what we mean by the spirit. And there's far more to be said about this, which shall be said, but let's suffice for that for now. This is the first science, know thyself, that you are spirit in the deepest sense, this fundamental I, the I am, your being, your essence. This essence is robed with mental thoughts which emanate from it, and that these thoughts crystallize into action, into physical stuff, your body. And that's you. Spheres inside of spheres, nested in these degrees. Now, if that's you, and if everything is science and art, well, now you have a diagram of you, of everything you are and you can be. You have these sciences and these arts, spiritual, mental, and physical. If you take all this seriously, We speak about self-help. We speak about, meditation or spirituality, courses of how to change your life, right? How to design your life, how to build your life. All good things. But now if we take this seriously, here you go. How do you change your life? How do you change yourself? How do you realize your potential? How do you build the real you? How do you discover the meaning of life, the universe, everything which is? How do you become one with yourself and attain to peace? And find the thing we're all searching for? Well, the answer has to lie here. Somewhere here, or maybe in the whole thing. Now, I won't go through this now. We'll do that in videos to come. But let's start right at the beginning. Spiritual science, ultimately that's what we're concerned with. There's a spiritual art form as well, which takes the science and makes it enacted. That's ultimately what we mean by religion, by philosophy, by mythology, by all these things. Art and culture in the higher sense. The meaning of life. It's this first science, the ultimate science, the foundation, the basis, the irreducible substratum which underlies everything. All these things seek not to really tell you, but to allow you to realize, to come to knowledge, to behold, therefore to theorize in a deeper sense of the word, your ultimate identity. That's essentially what we call religion and philosophy. That's what they're doing. And that's what spiritual science is. Essentially, that's what it is. That's what religious scripture is doing. But you have to know that before you approach it, and you need to know how to read it. Which we don't overwhelmingly. Firstly, we don't even know how to read. Let alone how to read the most profound thing someone can possibly say. And how do you take this science and make it enacted? Well, that's what the idea of meditation, of spirituality, of worship, of contemplation. All these spiritual exercises are about taking this vision and allowing it, what was seen in this innermost eye of the heart, to in fulgurating movement emanate and explode and fill you up, so that you become one with yourself. You have to do that. That's the beginning. If you don't have that filling up, that unity, you're fractured. And just as someone can walk on a fractured leg, you can keep going on for a while, but you will come tumbling down. You will fall. And so wherever you think you are, whatever beginning you're looking for, whatever end you would like to get to, this is where you must begin. Make sure you are one and whole. Because if you're not, the truth is you haven't done anything. And that's the reason why people turn away from this. The real reason why this is so hard to accept, it's not really anything to do with the metaphysics, the spiritual stuff. It's not really because it's too much or it's hard to believe or it's too hard to do. The real reason people don't want this is because of arrogance. Because we know that if this is true, and the truth is, of course it's true, it's obvious. But then all of this stuff which we have done is being built upon quicksand. It's a castle of glass. And it's going to come smashing down, or better yet, we probably need to take responsibility and smash it down. That's hard to accept. And that's the real beginning. The real beginning is you wrestling with yourself and coming to terms with that. To allow the first ego death to occur by just saying that, I don't know. That's the beginning of wisdom, as Socrates said. I know that I know nothing. You have to do that. Know that you know nothing, and then perhaps you will know thyself.